What I'm all about, touting my name, touting my style like an energy. I never fall short, I just keep coming. I huff and I snort to the goal, yo. I ain't your friend, ho, I take you down, though. We fight for our rights, this isn't a game. We live for the ride, we're going down in flames. We don't give nothing when nothing is due. In the end, when it falls, it's on top of you.
Exclusive.
That's how we get down. You know what's rocking out. I brought this company back. I brought everybody back. And you know how we rock. I'm confused. What's going on? What's popping on?
Fresco-matic.
Behold, you are now in the presence of the fly.
Hey. Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season. Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season, man.
We've been playing this song all weekend. We've been playing this cut all weekend. Let's go over here to the other studio. Look at this. What's going on? And welcome to another jam-packed edition of the Fresco Show. We got an extra spectacular, historical event because for the first time in its history, we're going 2 hours. And we got so much to get into, folks. We got the power rankings. The Las Vegas wrestling scene power rankings returns tonight. Oh, look what I got going. I got the fresh Clipper drip popping because just like them, I'm an underdog, baby. But unlike them, I got the job done. And when they get the job done, they gonna realize who was the inspiration, the street sweeper, the fly, the baddest man alive, the city king pin. And the city king pinned Kenny on Friday. Pinned Kenny on Friday. Pinned Kenny on Friday. So there's no question about it. No question about it. Hold on, man. I'm losing. Hold on, I got it. Woo. Madam Rice, how are you doing tonight?
Well, honestly, Fresco, I'm feeling tired.
Tired?
This weekend was jam-packed with so much wrestling.
So much wrestling. For
and
the
I
first
loved
time. For the first time in Wrestling Vegas, we had all 3 companies run shows successfully this weekend for the first time in its history. We got so much to get into, so much to get
Absolutely.
right, get tight. In the meantime, I'm on cloud 9, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! Let's go! What's poppin'? All right, let me put this down for a second. Let me get my belt. shit, but I love it because it's brown. Brown like my skin color. Brown sugar. And of course, sweet daughters.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get these right. We got a lot of time today. My song playing all out is great.
Yeah, I think that was the first time that your song played
Yeah,
all the way through. It's a beautiful thing.
It's good, it's good. Okay, does that look good? Yeah, all right.
I think so.
All right. Let me go and get my seat going, because it is a celebration. Behold, you are now in the presence of the fly. And once again, welcome. What episode is this, Madam Rice?
You always ask me, and I never know.
It's got to be, I think, 27.
That sounds right to me. Yeah.
28. I know these things. but,
Let's go with 27.
That's a good number. 27.
That's a good number.
Welcome, folks, to another edition of the Fresco Show, episode 27. Thank you so much for coming by tonight and checking us out. We are live on all streaming platforms right now. Go Live Vegas, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. All the spots I can't even name right now. We are live, so you have a reason for the season to check out the Fresco Show.
Absolutely.
Man, this weekend was absolutely insane. It was insane, and I'm sorry, y'all. I got to cap it off with what happened Friday night
Yes.
at Big Valley Wrestling, Unstoppable, 8th anniversary. Madam Rice, what happened that night?
Fresco took on Kenny King. Not only did he take him on, but he defeated him.
Say that again one more time for the audience in the back.
Not only did he take Kenny King on, but he defeated him. He got that 1, 2, 3.
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear
Yes.
that? Message last night. I'm sorry.
Friday night,
we had
yes.
BBW Unstoppable. By the way, the most packed show of the weekend. The headliner, of course, was The Fly. And I took on my mentor, a guy who's meant a lot to my career, a big influence both on and out, in and outside the ring. Kenny King, he's been around me since the beginning of my career. I remember walking, before I started actually wrestling, I went to FSW to check it out. One of those kids, I was checking out the wrestling to see what it's about. And it was on a Wednesday, and he was running practice. And I'll never forget, he was just so gracious to me. Just a guy who, just a fanboy walking into the biz. Not even really starting wrestling at that point, just getting a smidge. And him just being so cool and just, yeah, that's great. We come in there, and now to fast forward to this point where his career has been so long and so tumultuous, and then to have me come in and be the main event at Big Valley.
Yeah. Can I see your mic really quick?
What's wrong with the mic?
Use the other mic. Use that one.
Oh my gosh!
No,
All right.
I turned your mic off because
It
I
was
thought you were
off?
done with it. Yeah.
It was off. Oh my gosh!
That's why I said, give me your mic for a second.
Trying to get your attention.
So the thing is with Kenny King, this match was not only very important to me, but also this was the most important match for Big Valley Wrestling. You know why? Because for months, everyone's asking, what is going on in the Valley? What is the next preparation? What's the next step for Big Valley Wrestling? Because quite frankly, with all, the companies running the routes around town, where's the presence there?
Right.
And proud to say, after this weekend, we were the top drawing show with the top drawing champion locally in the city today.
Yes, the presence was definitely felt on Friday night.
And you know what? Normally, I don't really drink anymore. If y'all notice in season 3, we don't do much drinking.
No.
But I had to make an exception on this. Normally, I get some E&J, right? Some brandy.
Yes.
Today, I got something special. I got the OE ready to roll. Cameraman, get that close up on the OE right here. Yeah. Ha, ha, ha. And while I pour that up, Madam Rice, let's get started
Yes.
on News on the Fly.
All right.
Play that
News
music.
On the fly. We touched on the first topic a little bit. Fresco takes down Kenny King, gets that one fall. And next we have Future Stars of Wrestling show on Saturday night.
Yep.
The faction went up.
Faction went up. You know how it goes. The next night, no rest for the weary. I had tag duties with, of course, my man Action Braxton. Lights, camera, faction. Back-to-back nights, no problem. Taking on the Revolution from NorCal, a very reputable and very good team, to be honest with you. But on that night, me and Brax were clicking on a different level.
Absolutely.
Click.
Yeah, legs were flying.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Oh yeah, we busting out the kicks, the axe kicks, all that was going down.
I loved it.
And it was a marvelous sensation. We making it clear, y'all. We see what's going on in the tag division right now in FSW. We know how stacked it is. You know what we've been doing, but we want more. Any combination you bring, the faction gonna make it happen.
The
Whether
boys.
it's me,
Yes.
Action Braxton, he is Watson, or that boy Ice Williams. We're coming for gold this year, and it's going to be in Future Stars of Wrestling. However we get it, we gonna get it.
Yes, it was the faction. Boys.
What we got next?
Next, all three promotions, Big Valley Wrestling, Future Stars of Wrestling, and Versus Pro Wrestling, all had shows this weekend.
We touched on it a little earlier, but I want to kind of elaborate more on what type of history that is. Just considering our small time that we've created Vegas Wrestling, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
A lot of things have parted, new creations, new incarnations, reincarnations, new cliques, new sides, new all that. But one thing is always constant, and that is the spirit of competition and the spirit of building this city up. And I just want to touch on that because a lot of times we don't really get it. You know, usually one company's out for whatever reason or just not active at the moment. But to get three successful shows throughout the weekend for Vegas and to have enough talent to go around where people still weren't on the shows, they were doing other things other places, and it was still a full card for everyone to get shots. That's what we build our legacy for. That's what we build our city for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's huge. Like you mentioned, you know, not only were the three promotions able to run shows, but the shows were packed and full of talent. People got exposure and, you know, winning titles and title defenses. It's beautiful to watch.
For sure. And, you know, it's just another, you know, homage because the City Kingpin watches everything. You know, I'm not someone that doesn't not notice something because I'm bigger. I mean, I am bigger, but the thing is, I have to watch it anyway because it's my city. So I must keep track of what's going on in Versus World, what's going on in the Valley, what's going on in the mainland. And that's how we keep it rocking. What we got next?
Yeah, we're gonna move on to a different topic here, a little bit to sports, but are the Clippers a secret threat to the NBA title?
So, y'all know what I rock. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know what I represent. And it is no secret that I am the ultimate Clipper fan. But I am also an optimist, but I am also a realist. And the realistic options are we may not make it out of the first round. However, I know what they've been doing. I know what they've been plotting. Kawhi Leonard's coming back.
Yay!
You heard that. You heard that breaking news from Fresco-Matic.
I
Kawhi
love it.
Leonard will be back for that first round if they make it past the play-in. And guess what, NBA? You in trouble now.
Yeah,
because
bring him
the
back.
Clippers
Yeah.
are ready. The most deepest team in the league. Wing defenders all throughout. Can switch off any position. We got depth and we're tough. So NBA, everyone's, the Sixers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Heat, whoever. Watch out for them Clippers. We play tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be there watching the game. I'm definitely going to be tapped in. And if y'all tweet me about something, don't bother me. I'm not gonna answer. And don't harass me either, because I don't play those games.
You know what I'm excited to see?
What?
Which jersey will you be wearing tomorrow while you're watching the game?
I don't know. I'll probably pull out the Kawhi. I'll pull out the Kawhi one. We'll see how I'm feeling when I get back. All right. What else we got?
Next, we've got, something the faction has been talking about a lot of lately. Those little scurriers, Get some boric acid to get rid of those roaches,
Oh, the roaches. You guys are getting a lot of press right now because we have put the whole state of Arizona on by giving them an identity. Something that's really fitting, really. Being roaches. Ruler roaches. This past weekend, my opponents this weekend stopped by our spot. Evan Daniels, R3, Final Destination, that's a different group. The Brother Club. And it's going to be real fun because they have no idea what we got planned for them. We've been dominating that place as long as we've wanted to, and they're just now figuring it out. and it's funny because now we're at a spot where I'm untouchable now.
Oh my.
And that's going to spread out to the negative zone. And R3, Evan Daniels, whatever belts you guys got, it don't mean nothing because when me and Watson step into the plate, we're the top guys. And that's not fact or opinion, it's the gospel. And guess what? I got a little special message for you in my commercial break coming up right now.
Exclusive.
Oh, you thought this was about the power piece? What about championships? I've had all the championships. Yep. Grand Slam Watson. See what it's about the respect. Yeah. The respect that we are owed. The respect that we have not been given. Not think that we deserve that.
That's right. You think in our faction report that the Brother Club was somehow left off? You two are the main reasons why we had to come and consolidate the negative zone. You two have been hogging up the spotlight since 2016? Doing the same old things with the same old opponents over and over again. But business was down. The negative zone was down. The faction boys is up. Business is up. Value and quality is up. And it's not because of you. It's because faction. Come April 16th, you're going to find out why Watson and myself are the top champions of the negative zone. And that's not fact or opinion. It's the gospel.
What's going on, folks? Once again, welcome back to another big spectacle edition of the Fresco Show, folks. Guys, we've talked long enough about what just happened. We're here for the main topic of the day.
Yes.
And the main topic of the day is the Las Vegas Power Rankings. And I know last time we had some controversy on the list, considering order and everything. And of course, the Secret Council has given it one more round here. A lot of time has been accumulated from the last time the list was made to now, everything being accounted for. And without further ado, I gotta bring up the man responsible for creating this list in the first place with the concept and the Secret Council concept. The one guy who watches all and writes about all. The article man, Brian. Come on up. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on with you? What's good with you? What's good? Busy. Yeah. Who you telling, man? Shoot. Yeah. What's popping off? Give me Okay. What's going on with you?
We good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm doing great, man.
We're good.
Welcome to the desk, Madam
Thank
Rice.
you very much.
Cool.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure. How you feeling right now, man?
I'm doing real good. I'm real excited for these to come out.
Oh,
This has been
man. It's
real busy.
It's been a hot minute. You know, we've been talking about it. We've been seeing what's going on. We feel like this is going to be a good, solid list going into it. And, you know, the talent is even better than ever.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this was, we thought the last rankings were tough to do. This one was tougher.
Yeah.
For different reasons, which we'll go into.
Yep.
Some of them were obviously close at the top. Some were trying to figure out who's going to fill the spots and, you know, competitive in different ways. But that's the way it is with development and stuff like that.
It is. You know, it's wild, man. It's wild. But, you know, it's also wild. We got another analyst coming on the page.
What?
You know, this guy, of course, has been making noise throughout the entire Vegas wrestling scene. You know, a chip off the old block in a lot of ways. This man has traveled multiple states in his first year. The Las Vegas Rookie of the Year, FSW Rookie of the Year, and Battle-Born Champion. I present to you the Heartbeat, Nick Xander. Yeah, come on, you know. Double power piece. Double power piece.
Nothing's better than 2 and 3.
And 3, 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 and 3. Yeah, power piece. Hey,
He's
power
here.
piece. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Got the full staff.
Nice.
Hey, man, I got you an OE. You want an OE?
I might, you know, I've been splurging myself ever since winning this Battle-Born Championship, so I'll think about cracking it maybe. First things first, Madam Rice, welcome to the desk.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick.
The upgrade.
Let me upgrade you.
Total upgrade.
Upgrade you.
Finally
feeling
some
the
intelligence
upgrade.
here.
Yeah, look at what's going on. We got a full staff here
Wow.
for the biggest power rankings, man. You know, Heartbeat, man, going into this year, did you see yourself having this type of turnout this early on for your success so far?
Man, it's been pretty crazy, right? Because I've been told a lot of different things by a lot of different people, and one thing, there's a trailblazer in Las Vegas. His name is Chris Bay, and Chris Bay told me a long time ago, man, you just gotta go and get it, and that's any means necessary. And I was looking at all my options and seeing the lay of the land. The lay of the land needed something more in the valley, more in the versus world, more in the Pride style grab house range. I felt like I was Las Vegas' greatest utility, whether anyone knew it or not. And it was just about me going and getting it, like Chris Bay said. So that's something I really took to heart. And this early, I'm very blessed. You know, not everybody gets to win a championship or have a kind of run like this. So I'm really just trying to enjoy this ride and ride it as long as I can, Fresco.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know what? It's well deserved. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's real crazy now because we're looking at what's transpired since January, so much has really changed already in the Vegas scene. It feels like with every show, there's a new chapter kind of unwinding. Yeah. Let's look at what's went on in the mainland FSW since January. Ice Williams, faction. We take out Hammerstone.
Right.
Who saw that coming? We have guys like Duke Lawrence now in FSW, the big giant.
That's right.
All that's going on. We have all types of things rolling around. Versus World is getting crazy. Shade and Beast last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a huge surprise.
What's going on, Shade? It's supposed to be your castle. It looks like his castle got dethroned, man. I thought those two were inseparable, but
got to keep it interesting, Fresco. I think that's the main thing. You have so much talent here in Vegas, yet it all seems like one big crossover.
Yeah.
So what's going to keep it fresh? What's the next best thing that we could do? And I feel like throwing a wrench in the ever-revolving, how would you say, the chain there at the Versus World, I think that really opened a lot of eyes what they did yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. I watched the whole show. I kept track of it, see what was popping off. A lot of valiant efforts. That was probably a show I've probably seen the most women on one card.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
In
yeah.
a
Credit
minute,
to them.
Yeah, definitely.
There was probably about 3 or 4 different women's matches where it was just a match. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't anything added to it. And they were just it was going like a normal style. And
right.
it was refreshing to see.
Well, can we talk about it real quick? Because
Yeah.
we have talented women in this industry here in Las Vegas, like Dana Lynn, like Alice Blair, and Jen Savani's coming from California. These are women who don't regularly get the opportunities, right? Like Viva Van.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
had a
mention
match
her.
on Friday, which very easily could have been filled by a Alice Blair or a Dana Lynn or someone like that who could have really benefited from it. And again, we're talking about women getting an opportunity, and Camilla just made her debut, who's been training really hard. This new crop of women in generation of Las Vegas women's wrestlers, post Maserati, perhaps post Sandra Moon, is looking very promising, if you ask me.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the crop just keeps getting bigger and bigger for women's talent, and you still got all those grinding and trying to make their pine here in the city. So to have that go on, it's been interesting.
And like you were talking about, the local talent is pretty strong. But what I think is cool too is now it's becoming Las Vegas is a destination for women's wrestlers to come here. When you look at Viva Van, Milo, Jen Savani, Bryn Thorne, who's done some great things. We'll talk about her later.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, she done beat him a couple times, I think.
A couple. That was last year.
I think that's important too, because you want to be not just a place where local talent can flourish and grow, but you want to be a destination as well. Because if you can't bring people from other states to at least fill cards or at least to push people over, get title matches and so forth, you're not going to grow the scene either. So the fact that now Las Vegas has both. One thing I want to talk about too that you mentioned about the 3 shows, 3 different main events.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool, because we've had 2 or 3 shows on weekends before, and the same person will be in 2 of the main events, and when it mixes up like that. You're like, well, so it was nice to see that not just different talent, different matches, different. It was real cool.
Yeah, for sure. It felt like it was like different flavor for each show.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It was definitely
its own
a different flavor
identity.
for each show. It was all had different, different palate cleanser for each one. So if you like wrestling, I think you can enjoy at least something from each show that happened this past weekend.
Yeah, I think my favorite main event though was that Fresco-Matic and
Battle
match,
for the throne. Fresco, I gotta say really quick, because I was there and I seen it. 1, 2, 3. So how does the throne feel? Like, what does it feel like? Like the cushions, the type, the texture. I need to know.
It's just been very, very humbling experience. But I, honestly, man, it's been. I've been on a high, man. I've been training real hard for that Kenny King match. Really trying to get myself in the best shape I could. To take him on, and I knew he was going to bring it. And he told me a few days prior that he was going to take me to task. So imagine hearing that going into the training, just trying to get some rolls in, and your coach is saying, "Hey, I'm about to blow you up, kid."
I'm
You
gonna
know?
whip your ass.
Yeah, like, hey, you know, like, man, he's training with the young ones, and he's giving them arm drags, and I see a little more intensity. He's like, "Yeah, come on." He looks at me. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I know what time it is."
Yeah.
So I had to come prepared, and I did come prepared.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Definitely came prepared, So we'll see where this lands me in the future, but I feel like right now the throne is secure with the Fly, and anyone else that needs to get a shot, come see me and we'll talk.
How was the response in the back? What'd you get?
All love, man. All love. Everyone told me, it worked out great, and I worked hard, and they said, hey, that's the match that you would send to promoters or other places and say, hey, that's the one, because I feel like with someone like Kenny King, who's wrestled guys like Daniel Bryan, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe,
I didn't know that.
Kenny Omega.
Wow.
He's wrestled literally all the great wrestlers that you see today. Like today, he's wrestled all of them, beaten a lot of them too. So to be able to have my name with that, to say, hey, I took him on and, and beat him. We got a phone call? Oh. And then it going from there, and then it just really adds to it. So it really made it special. It made it special. So for sure. Absolutely.
Nice.
I wonder if Braxton and Ice's name going to be an asterisk next to yours in this power ranking.
Oh no.
Oh, so okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Let's just talk about it because you said you had something up your sleeve, and obviously we all seen it play out. They were out there, right? Royal flush,
Royal
flush. The damnedest royal flush I ever seen. You were 9 feet in the air. Boom. 1, 2, up on the apron.
Right,
Frost?
Listen. You can say whatever you want about how that ended. The faction never touched Kenny. The faction never got physically involved, never laid a finger on old boy. All that was earned by moi. Because guess who pinned him? No tights, no rope grabs, none of that.
These are great photos.
Absolutely, yeah, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay.
1,
Beautiful.
2, 3. And see right there, the brain. Because I always knew. Because look, Kenny should know. I learned a lot from him. Some would say he's the original street sweeper. Because he was always having extra plans. Faction war, he knew better.
Sure.
He's been part of every faction known to man. He's been part of what? BDC, Rebellion,
Yep.
La Faction Ingobernable. He's part of Honor No More right now. So if anyone should have came prepared, it was Kenny. So it is what it is. And at the end of the day, it's going to say Fresco Matic defeats Kenny King.
1, 2, 3.
I will say, Fresco, that was the best match of your career and one of the best
Yeah, I agree.
performances I ever seen. You couldn't have looked more jacked, athletic, and ready for that moment. I am so proud of you, despite whatever the inside baseball may be. Congratulations, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You looked the same size as Kenny King, and that was what stood out to me as I was looking from the crowd. And I said it to myself. I went, he looks the same size as Kenny King, and not necessarily physically, but you looked like you belonged there. And that's so important. And I'll go back to a situation in the match when the fans were calling about your laces being untied. You didn't tie your laces right away. You let that kind of just build, and then you did it. That was just like you were very composed to understand that situation and not cater to it, so to speak.
For sure. You know how crowds can be.
Oh, yeah.
You know how crowds can be.
We're talking about Fresco a little too much. I gotta.
Hey, this is
Sorry.
There are plenty of people to talk about.
Let's just play his theme again. Where's the transition?
The transition is this, because the following night, myself and Braxton are in a tag match, and we're trying to jockey for position in the tag division. The tag teams in general in Vegas has been quite different the last several months. We've seen teams disband. We've seen teams no longer team up in Las Vegas, and we've seen teams drop. This has been a very interesting top 10 for the Las Vegas tag teams. What do you guys think?
Oh, without a doubt, especially these last 3 months. I mean, because there were a couple teams that we saw coming in that we thought were going to maybe make a move this time and didn't do anything, didn't wrestle at all. Or someone in a tag team was wrestling with other people in tag matches. So you can't really, you're not going to get any cohesion. You're not going to really move or get over or anything like that in those situations. It's just tag teams. It's like the strongest teams are still there, but there was so much movement at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was really amazing how that much could happen in such a short period of time.
Yeah, and I wasn't prepared for that. I mean, we started with so many different tag teams, and to see some of them drop off, I was kind of sad. Like, it was kind of like a bittersweet moment, you know, but I agree with you. The strong tag teams are still there, and they're fighting and striving.
Well, here's the thing about the tag team divisions here. The mainland, the tag champs, they're gone, disappeared. So for a while there, the mainland struggled with building tag teams and such, because the tag team division is so unclear. So really, a lot of these spots were for the taking, and whoever grabbed it, you know what I mean, you got to take that brass ring. There's teams who are creeping maybe on the bubble. See, I don't know the list.
Right.
It's unbeknownst to me. But you got teams like Better Off Dead. You got different factions, the Hannah Creations and such, that are really doing a lot of good work. So it's real exciting to see how this is all going to pan out.
And I think tag teams are fragile anyway, because even with like you and Chase, you guys were doing good things, and then Chase, it's like you really, because you're counting on two people. So if one gets hurt, there's no more tag team. If one decides he wants to wrestle singles, or if they both do, this could look like a tag team is going to be around for 6 months to a year. And then all of a sudden they're both wrestling singles at different companies. Like, it's just very fragile to begin with, I think.
Sure. Brothers, and then not brothers,
absolutely.
and then we're brothers again.
Yeah.
And then,
Right. Yeah.
For sure. Having that consistency is so key. I've had multiple partners, and they're all different relationships and different chemistry that you have to build with it, and it all takes time. And really, that's what it comes down to: standing the test of time.
Do you think it's wanting to be a good tag wrestler as well? Like committing to being a tag wrestler? Because if you're in a tag team but you're always thinking about wrestling singles, how good are you going to really be in a tag team? Like, does that...
That's a tough one, because in our head, when we wrestle, we always think about what we do as singles guys, as competitors. You of course have an idea of what it would be like as a tag team competitor, and you enjoy it, but you have to really be within yourself and within your team to realize, okay, this is what's needed for the foreseeable future,
right?
To stay within the team and to really trust who you're with. That's the biggest thing. Trust and rely.
Yeah.
It comes down to that, especially because certain companies were going to look at you from a certain ceiling.
Right.
When you're a classified tag team wrestler, some guys suffer from it now, and it's hard to break that mold, even though you can bang in singles. So it's really just a perception you get of how well you work as a team when you show, but I can do that and more on my own. So it's dicey.
Yeah, you know what I think about? It's kind of funny. Like, when you're in school and you have like a group project, and you're like, crap, I just want to work by myself, like, damn. Or you're like, hell yeah, I'm about to ride this. I ain't doing no work. Everybody's going to do my work for me, Tag teams kind of bring me back to school a little bit, that mentality.
Well, while we're there, I know I don't want to get off topic, but like, which one were you, Madam Rice? You got 2 degrees, so you can't be the second one.
He's never gonna let me live that down. Yes, I do have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. But in school, I was the person that was like, I just want to work. Thank you.
Yeah, give her flowers. Her flowers.
I was the person that was like, I just want to work by myself. Why do I have to work with these people?
Not surprised.
Total brat.
Not surprised.
But
Not
when I
surprised.
was in the group, I always, made it work and did what I had to do to get that A or B.
You were telling them, you were sending them meetings like, hey, we're going to meet here at the lunchroom at 3:45.
Yeah. She gonna
Please
get
let me
it
know
right.
if you're not going to make it.
Okay, next topic.
Right.
Text
Get it right.
letting you where you at.
All right, guys.
Jeez.
Are we ready for this tag team?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm super excited.
I am too.
Me too.
Okay. So here we go. Who made the top 10? Starting with number 10 in the tag team list. What do we got?
We've got the pack.
The Pack.
Oh.
Wow.
Number 10?
Number 10. The Pack makes the list. They were on the bubble last time. Brian, what went into this decision?
I think the Pack, for example, with Principe and Duke, both are very talented. Both have done a nice job in singles. Both are improving. They're getting better. They're getting better as a team. They're getting more opportunities as a team, and I think that's what's pushed them ahead, especially with some of the voters. And it's close. You look at Hand of Creation, which we need to talk about that. They're called the Exiled now.
Exile.
It's 0, 1, and 404 are the Exiled. So there's no more Hand of Creation.
Wow.
But speaking of the Exiled, we'll just go ahead and lean into this. They're talented as well, and they're very close with the Pack. I think that now the Exiled haven't won enough. They've pretty much been the team to go in and get beat, but they do well in those, and they keep improving. And I feel like they've got some heat with the fans. But the Pack, I just think that the ultimately with the council was just the fact that the potential with these guys is just ahead of everybody else that was on their way up. As far as the newer teams, because there's certainly veteran teams. Like you look at Better Off Dead, I see that group absolutely in the top 10. I think they have great potential to be in the top 10. Obviously, working here more often because we know how that goes.
Right.
If they're here over this next window, they have a great chance of getting into the top 10. They beat the Pack last night.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
they're a team that you have to look at. If you look at a team like the Caution, who worked at Pride Style Pro, Sheik and Anton Voorhees, they're an outstanding team.
Yeah.
You can't
very
say
good.
they wouldn't be a top 10 team if they were tier more often. So there's a lot of competition down in that spot. So the Pack got into the top 10. I think they've earned it, but it was very close.
Xander, what do you think?
You know what?
Exile or the Pack?
The Exile is relatively fresh, still on the scene, and like Brian said, I think they have a little more work to do with the results, right? I was in the same boat with Chase Bell last time, on the outside, kind of looking in on that bubble, and the results just weren't there, and it is what it is situation. I feel like the Pack have deserved their right in the top 10. Some say they should be BVW Tag Team Champions right now.
Exactly. Great point. Excellent point.
That was a kind of a controversial finish.
That damn Players Club, man.
Man.
We need to figure out a way.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, that whole thing was a mess.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like the Pack had it. The whole thing was it was confusing. Like I almost had I thought it was
Yeah.
As Ice Williams say, it was Valley shit happening around in the Valley.
He was telling me all night, oh yes, we're definitely in the Valley.
But I'll tell you this though. But here's the thing though. Finishes like that have us talking. They have people excited about it, upset, happy, whatever it is, and that's great.
Yeah.
So where did the Players Club end
Oh
up?
my! I was about to say, I hope they don't make this list, people. I don't care if they're champs.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Me too.
Okay. I like this because the Pack they're a fun team to watch, and they're getting better bit by bit in their chemistry. They're training together. They travel together. They're good friends.
Yeah.
Principe is kind of having a low-key, nice run first year, doing his thing. D6, Gen Champ. He's got the Taco Fest championship. I'm not a big fan of the Taco Fest championship, but, Principe's work does not go unnoticed.
They work as a team, and they look well together, in my opinion.
So
That's what I think.
let me ask you, Fresco Matic, the city kingpin, the person who pinned Kenny King on Friday, is not a fan of the Taco Fest Championship. But there's a professional wrestler in Mexico who may like that Taco Fest Championship. Viva El Fresco.
Oh,
¿Verdad?
Viva El Fresco.
Is down in Mexico right now. Might be the next challenger for this belt.
Oh my God,
bueno.
Duke number 10.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's mad.
Oh, you're mad? Duke's mad at being number 10?
He's mad at number 10.
Bro, you guys lost twice this past weekend.
Oh, Fresco, not so harsh, man.
Yeah, Duke. I mean,
by happenstance, right?
You know,
top 10, man. Like this is huge for the pack.
yeah, you made the list. You
The
know what I'm
pack.
saying?
You know, I was about to say, Duke looked pretty impressive in his FSW
He did look
debut
really
too as well.
impressive.
So
He
that, to check this out, I was like, okay. And seeing those two, continue to see those two grow together, I want to see more of it.
and they have the great setup too. You have the big guy, the small guy who can go and do the flying stuff. He can kind of get things moving.
But Duke can do the same.
Oh no, absolutely. But I'm
But
talking
Duke can
just
do
from
the
the tag team situation.
Sure.
Principe can feed and feed and feed, and Duke can do the hot tag and the big save. It's a
Okay,
good
Duke.
setup.
Okay, Duke. Okay, Duke, you're going a little too. You're
Uh-oh.
getting a little
Now
out
we're
of
getting
your
personal.
comfort zone here. I'm gonna need you to relax. You took a big old, dive outside for nothing.
Oh man. Oh man, we need.
You big old elephant jumping off the ring, landing on Leon, and come on now.
Fresco, I think he needs a little help from the Snake Pit Professional Wrestling Academy. Definitely. You see what it's done for us. Got the beautiful power pieces up on the mantle here.
Right here. Power piece collection.
So I think with a little more of that, he'll temper it down, and the pack will find themselves higher on the list next time.
Yeah. You know, congrats. I know Principe's happy. He's somewhere jumping around right now.
Hey,
you know.
Felicidades.
I don't know
Hey, bro.
his voice. Hey, boy. Okay, let's get to number 9.
All right, number 9, we've got Kajak and Bodie.
Wow. Cal Jack and Bodie.
Okay.
Cal Jack and Bodie. Put him up on. Okay.
That is not.
That is not, yeah.
That is definitely not.
That is an exile.
But we are getting a lot of comments, so keep those comments flowing, guys.
Keep
We
the comments
definitely
going.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was there. Cal Jack and Bodie. Either way, so
The Big Bear and the Kid.
So this is a
There it
very
is.
interesting and polarizing tag team. Yes, there you go. Has there ever been a team with a championship team with a kid this young before?
I don't know. The Jungle Book was a really good movie, though. That's all I'll say.
right.
Yeah, this is like Mowgli and Baloo
Yeah. Oh, that's
at its best.
I love that.
Look at Bodie, so
picture.
confident.
Yeah, look
like,
at that.
yeah, of course I did. Of course I won this.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I really think that this vote has a lot to do with the potential, though, especially with the teams towards the lower half of the top 10, because it's easy to look at this, and I understand what some people are probably saying. Oh, Cal Jack and Bodie have had 2 matches together, hypothetically, 2 matches together, and they're the champions, and they didn't even really win the belts. It was kind of a weird double pin thing, and the pack has had, is just coming up. But I think that it's more of a potential thing. Like, obviously, there's great potential with the pack. There's equal potential with Cal Jack and BYP.
Sure.
So it's so close. It's not a.
The results are there. The
Without a
results
doubt.
are there
Without a
with
doubt.
Cal Jack and Bodie, though,
Without a
right?
doubt. For sure.
Because if you think of Bodie, you think of the young prodigy, the guy who really is the future of this Las Vegas wrestling scene, like, no doubt about it. Like, he is going to be one of the biggest success stories out of this city. And then you have Cal Jack, who's been at the top, who has been at the Performance Center and done these things. So to put those two together was, I think, really a genius idea because, again, just like the pack, they have that dynamic that you're talking about, Brian.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're a must-watch team.
Yeah,
no
definitely.
doubt about it. Ever since kind of their little inception at FSW with the Brett the Threat debacle, and it kind of spreading across different avenues now, they're must-watch TV, honestly. And of course, seeing BYP, train with us for all this time and being better than me for a lot of that, really, just having his reps in. He's already a veteran in the game.
5 years.
5 years. 5 years. He's still putting on the man body. He's doing on work on that. I just want to see where this team goes because they became champs so quick. And it's just a matter of sometimes when you get up so quick, you fall down pretty hard too. Cal Jack is one of those guys who most likely won't let it happen.
Yeah.
But when Bodie's in there with guys who are ruthless, who won't hold back on him, and will light him up. We saw that in FSW a couple of weeks ago.
Poor kid.
And it's something that is something to look out for. It's cautious and it's potentially dangerous, but these guys have what it takes to hold on to Versus crown.
Yeah, I have faith in Bodie as he gets older, and he's already had so much experience, but as he starts to grow into a man, I'm pretty confident, that he'll he'll get those muscles and toughen up and be able to throw more guys around.
There you go. And, he is growing up a little bit. I see him on IG, going on dates now at the arcade and different things like that.
So at the arcade, that's so cute.
So he's definitely doing his thing, man. Young superstar, Bodie Young Prodigy.
Young superstar, cracking the list. This is both a debut. 2 debuts already on the tag team list, you guys. The pack number 10, number 9, Cal Jack and Bodie. All 4 men first time on this Power Rankings list.
I like the trajectory of
where this
so,
list is going. We're going up. We're getting a lot of spread around because we're seeing every tag team across the valley. So it's good. What is Duke saying? I'm sorry. I'm just. Well, what did he say before? Oh, you had something to say?
Well, because Noah was like, well, I want a world title at 17 like Jody. And then he was like, oh, man, relax, blah, blah, blah. And now they're going back and forth.
Oh, my gosh.
That's kind of what it is.
Isn't D6, done next show? Aren't they moving somewhere?
But it's the last dance, Fresco.
The last dance.
It's the last dance, Fresco.
It's like Ring of Honor or something, but it's not really done. They're just, just gonna relocate.
Let's
just leave it at this as their last show according to what we've seen. Okay. Let's just leave it there.
Okay, the rematch between Noah and
Duke. There's a lot more to it.
The rematch of the century. Duke Noah 3.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun.
I will say this though, if D6 is leaving Barstow, it would be unfortunate because it's been nice to see some young guys get opportunities to work there.
The Brandon G's.
Definitely. The Noahs.
You know what I'm saying? The French,
even
the Noahs.
Principe.
French.
All my guys in there getting the extra reps, going there, taking over Barstow.
Principe was Rookie of the Year with D6.
A lot of success comes from that. It reminds me a lot of young BVW. When me, Sky High, we're there when everyone left and had to kind of rebuild it up again and got it to a reputable place. So it has a lot of that intangibles too, kind of undesirable, but still a lot of potential to do great
For
things.
sure. Yeah, I agree.
So Fresco, faction up. We're people are going up on the list, but let's go down. Who do you think is number 8?
Okay, so number 8. I don't know, man. I feel like we gotta get a mainland team in this thing now.
I agree.
Yeah. So number 8, what is it?
Oh, number 8, Los Suavecitos.
Los Suavecitos.
Hablamos español.
Oh yeah, fool. You know what's going on, man? It's Danny Rose, Ricky G, Los Suavecitos. Haha. Yeah, I got the old English, fool. That's how we get down, yeah.
Look, when these two are in the ring, I always know it's going to be a good time. I love seeing them wrestle. I just have to put that out there. You want to feel emotion when you're watching wrestling, and watching these two, you definitely feel that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the faction taking over the negative zone, but Los Suavecitos are the number 1 ranked tag team at PCW AZ, which those boys come out here frequently. So for the Suavecitos to go out there and take on teams from MLW and such and get wins, get victories, really cementing themselves outside of Las Vegas and bringing that success back to the mainland, you got to appreciate what they're doing right now.
And that's interesting too, because it's like the rankings are Las Vegas, and we focus immensely on what happens in Las Vegas.
Sure.
But you have to factor in what happens out of state, because doing a good job here in town and then spreading that out of state is important to the entire scene. So you can't overstate stuff that happens in Arizona or California or wherever, but you certainly have to factor it into what's been happening.
Absolutely.
I think the Suavecitos had a chance to be a little bit higher. They were a little inactive as a team.
Yeah, I was
Ricky
gonna
did
say-
all the singles matches,
I was gonna
but
say.
having Danny back in the pre-show, I think the Suavecitos had a chance to be a little bit higher if we'd seen them a little bit more.
You know, Danny Rose was injured for a little bit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He had a little itis going on that he now has cured, and I have no doubts in my mind that Suavecitos are gonna do what they are meant to do, and that's rise up this tag team division. I mean, if you're looking for a nice counterpart team to wrestle a TBD down the line, I mean, those are guys who are going to get a lot of great reactions back and forth, good and bad for them. So
Yeah.
that would be really interesting to see down the line.
Yeah, and you know, Nick, I remember when the Suavecitos, when they were even more green when they first had started, and they couldn't get a win to save their lives.
Yes.
They could
We
not
talked
get a
about it here.
win. Yeah.
Baseball.
So it's
Adam right.
so it's so nice to see them starting to rack up those wins. You know.
That's right,
Yeah.
fool.
And you know
that's
what?
right.
When they were here the first time I was on the show, right? And I remember Ricky was sitting right there, and you asked him, "What's your goal?" And he's like, and they had not won a match yet, and he said, "FSW Tag Team Champions." Didn't hesitate.
Why wouldn't
And
you?
now we're having a conversation
Yep.
about them being potential future FSW Tag Team Champions.
Yep. You know, I'm not gonna front because they did drop a spot from the last power rankings here. I do want to see
really?
more from the Suavecitos. I feel like there's some things that they do probably better than most tag teams on the West Coast. I just want to see more out of it and sharpen up a little bit of their game that's keeping them from winning gold.
Yeah, they need the results.
I feel like that's going on.
They need a big
I
win.
agree.
A big win.
big win.
So do you guys think, you know, okay, so working everywhere in town isn't always the best idea, right? I mean, that's what it's been told. But
Right.
do you think this has affected Suavecito's position where they could have been working elsewhere and got these credible matches and credible wins to rise them up in the ranks? Do you think it's hurt them only being exclusive to one place?
I think so, especially when you're trying to break through. Essentially, you're just waiting for your opportunity instead of taking it.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like, you know, everyone knows I took the outlaw route. I've worked all the companies here for a long period of time before I started shortening up my schedule on it, and I don't really regret it at all. It really gave me the chance to, you know, booster up my reps and booster up my name around the city. So when I do start doing exclusive places, people say, "Yeah, I remember you was doing that over there, so I'm gonna check it out."
Yeah, we were talking about that a couple nights ago, and he was saying, you know, I think that if I just would have worked FSW, I would have been farther. And I said, wait, hold on. You got to think about it. You got your first championship with BBW.
Yeah, and
You know?
yeah, and look at the Citos. I feel like they could easily, you know, snatch some titles up somewhere and go from there. It's a matter of getting it when the time is right. Citos, I just want to see more from the Citos.
I don't-
you know,
Go ahead, sorry.
you know, I kind of just look at what they've been bringing and what they could bring. You know, I want their presence felt more.
Yeah, for sure. And to your point, as far as wrestling in multiple places, you can't fault somebody. What do you guys call it? The mainland for remaining on the. It reminds me of the mothership from the Dan
It's getting
Patrick
over.
show.
Yes.
You can't fault somebody for saying, "Hey, listen, this is where the most eyeballs are. This is where the biggest name is. Everybody in indie wrestling knows FSW." You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you can't fault somebody for wanting to stay there and then branch out from there. But the thing is about building your brand in town, okay, is there are different fan bases for each company in town.
Absolutely.
You
There
don't
is.
see the same fans
There
in every
actually
company.
is.
So I think the mistake that talent makes is they say, oh, well, it's just the same fans every time. And it's not the same fans every time, not even close. You might trickle in a few, but for the most part, it's a different group. So I think it's really important to wrestle everywhere.
There you go.
There it is, folks.
Yeah.
Suavecitos at number 8.
But they're a really good team.
Yeah, really good team.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
fool, we gonna go get the belts, fool. I go get the wins, go to Arizona PCW. beat los guerreros de era. Beat guerreros de era. And who do we have
All right.
at number 7?
Number 7, we've got Toko Uso.
Toko Uso.
Yes.
This is drop. This is a big
Yeah.
drop.
Huge
This
drop.
is a big drop from where they were at before. But there's reasons for this, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely. I think Toko Uso is very similar to what happened with the Unguided. They were in the rankings last time, and there was a lot of conversation among the council. We talked about it on the last show. There was a lot of conversation about the Unguided. This time we decided to take them off the list and not vote.
No one got on the list yet.
So it felt like Toko. I can't speak for everybody. It seems to me that this was like, hey, you guys did a great job while you were here. You guys really you're not going to drop out of the top 10. I mean, you're not going to say they're not a top 10 team. They won't be on the next one most likely just because.
Right.
But I feel like this is more of like a recognition for Juicy and Toa because they really did a great job. Happy
They
for
did.
them. I would have liked to have seen what they could have done here with a longer run, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. So here's the thing, right? This list was originally made for unsigned Las Vegas talent. And at the time, both Juicy and Toa were not.
Right.
And now we could say, what if they would have had this greater run? Well, again, I agree with you. Let's show some appreciation because
Right.
those two guys are now signed. They have now transcended, which we are all looking to do.
Right.
So would you rather be number 2 in the Las Vegas Power Rankings, or would you rather have 2 more zeros
Right,
at the end of your bank
seriously.
account?
Right,
So
I'll take the 2 zeros. Thank you.
so big,
Yeah.
big congratulations for
exactly.
the AEW ROH signing for Toa and the MLW signing for Big Juice. Those are 2 of the best dudes you will ever meet. I mean, you could have a conversation with those guys and they truly care. I mean, both those guys are
Yeah.
tremendous human beings, and I wish them nothing but the best. Seriously, those guys are awesome.
And seriously, Juicy is a perfect fit for MLW.
Oh,
he
Lord,
fits
absolutely.
exactly what they like to do.
Sure.
I think
All the
that's a
chaos
great
in
move for
MLW.
him. Great move.
Ooh. Yeah, all the chaos in MLW fits perfectly with Juicy's style.
Yeah.
In his contract, they have like 2 doors Toko per match. You know what I mean? You gotta have them doors ready for
Juicy
for
and
Juicy's
doors,
match.
man. it's like a customary to have a door whenever Juicy has us any kind of gimmick match. It's just like, all right, here we go. But this list I think was fair, like you guys said, for Toko Uso. Impactful. Both these guys could have for sure been heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah.
If they stuck around. And just to see what's going on with. Toko Uso, Toa, of course, now part of Ring of Honor, with a whole new crew.
Yep.
With Khan and
Tully.
Tully Blanchard. That's a huge rub. And Juicy, of course, going to MLW. These guys are both monsters in the game.
Yeah.
So to have them be FSW Tag Champions, even though they never defended the title successfully, got to give them the respect from there. And where they go next?
Yeah.
I'm glad they're away from the tag division.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just going to lay it out there
of
to
course.
keep it real. I was hoping for them to get signed, not just because, for success, but because, please, get away from the tag division because I've been sniffing those tag titles for years, and they never smelt more pale when Toko Uso had them. I couldn't sniff nothing. It was wild.
Yeah, it's like,
it
well,
was crazy.
let's see where else we could go.
Yeah. Well, let me see where we can go, get some matches,
said I couldn't
primer
sniff
up.
nothing.
Let's see who can take him down.
Now, Fresco, you seem very confident. These tag belts are closer than ever, but TBD has them. I mean, those are 2 big dudes.
Yeah, they're also 2 big dummies too. So so when it comes down to it, they can have all the fun they want. We're gonna climb our way to the top of the tag team ranks, and when we see them, it's gonna be faction time.
Do you think they're gonna hear this and see what you said just now, Fresco?
Yeah, I'm sure. I know how Shogun get. Yeah, Oh, you want to talk about me? Okay, watch this. And then and the hero. Yeah, Okay, you want to talk down Samoan Goblin? All right, yeah, I know TBD very well. They're one of my greatest rivals and sworn enemies, and I know all my enemies very well. So when that time comes, I'll be ready. All right, be ready, Freddy. Yes. Guys, we are almost here almost halfway through this tag team ranks,
Yeah.
folks. I feel like we've done a good job making this fair, giving all the teams some love here in this city. But who do we have next?
Next, we have S4TB.
Wow.
Yeah.
S4TB.
Number
What went
6.
into this, Brian?
Well, these, it's really interesting with them because when they had Laz and Adriel teaming up, that was a excellent team. They've done more mixing it up. I think this is also kind of an equity vote also because they've done a lot of stuff leading into this. And they still team together. You can't really count Vinny Massaro, although let me just say something about Vinny Massaro. That guy, everything looks good with that dude when he is in the ring. It is super smooth. Because I remember we got some heat about the Massaro family being in the top 10. But Vinny teamed with Jody once. He teamed with Laz once. Like, S4TB is just involved in the tag division, either together or with somebody else. So I think that's what. But I also think S4TB's probably benefited a bit from the confusion and the disarray in the lower half of the top 10 with the tag team division. I don't know if they'd be number 6 if the Pac and Callum Bodie had more reps under their belt.
Suavecitos.
Suavecitos, definitely. So I and not to take anything away from S4TB, obviously, but I think they've benefited from it because there hasn't been a lot of S4TB combinations, especially in this last window.
Yeah, I got you. It's been kind of the window has been kind of short for them recently as far as just seeing a lot of pair ups. Like we've seen Adriel and Sandra team up yesterday.
And they look really good together.
We've seen that. But yeah, it does feel like right now they're kind of in maybe a transition period.
Yeah.
They're doing some shows outside here and there, but it definitely does feel like right now they're kind of moving on to the next phase, whatever that looks like for us.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the next rankings. If they don't, I suspect that they don't have much in tag team work together, they'll drop. I mean, especially if these other younger teams or newer teams get more work.
Right.
Okay. These are 4 of my favorite people in the entire world, right?
Nick.
Listen.
4 of them.
Okay. We got you on the desk today. Okay?
I know. I should be happy.
Come on, madam.
I'm appreciative. Okay.
Serenity's a sweetheart. So listen. As far as 4 of them as a unit, absolutely. And my immediate outside point of view when I seen them on the first time was, well, are we talking about factions or are we talking about tag teams? Specific. Now, is Lights Camera Faction going to be Lights Camera Faction, the 4 of them? Because if it is, why aren't they at the top? Right? It's arguably the best faction, unit, tag team that there is in Las Vegas. But are they at the top?
Right.
Why wouldn't they be at the top? The most successful unit we have going today. Now you have S4TB, who are doing it their own way, Outlaws in their own way. But I feel like the uncertainty of what is the tag team and what they do more outside of Las Vegas as a unit, it's hard for me to really grasp and put them into a tag team division ranking. Now that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that Laz and Adriel couldn't be there, or Jody and Laz, who were versus pro tag team champions, couldn't be there, or Adriel and Sandra, who get wins outside. They beat Dave Dutra and Lisa Lace at UGWA, and they have tons of success. And collectively, between the 4 of them and Chris Mounts, they run a hell of a promotion at Grap House.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. So they bring... So So I guess in that way, if you're going to count them bringing content, bringing this type of product to Las Vegas, then absolutely. But if we're talking about actual team, actual matches, I mean, it's kind of hard because are we going to just use them as the asterisk? Or again, are we going to put Lights Camera Faction as well? Are we going to put these other, Better Off Dead collectively as the 3 or in such? Mm-hmm, what does that look like moving forward, Brian?
Right. Well, I think and we had a lot of discussion about this the first time with S4TB in particular. And one of the things that I brought up was Creature Feature. Are we going to Adriel and Laz? Because Adriel and Laz together is a top 10 team, no question about it.
Without a doubt.
So we ultimately decided on the, you're going with the Freebird rule, the old Freebird rule. We were kind of just better off calling it, saying this is S4TB, not really factoring in who's the team, who isn't the team. Part of it is because of depth. Obviously, as more depth comes, if they become a team, well, and I'm glad you brought this point up because it is something that we need to make sure that we clarify even more so, because of that reason. Because it's not a faction rankings; it's a tag team rankings. You know, I mean, but I think when you look at, I think really it's the teams that come out of that group. And it's like, so you look at, I guess that's kind of the best answer I have without a real clear one, because we're developing these, we're developing it, we're developing the categories, even though they're already, we already know what they are. But I think when you look at the tag team combinations that come out of that group is really what we kind of have to go by.
And rationalizing
and
it.
the equity, like I said, yes, they're totally rational. Yeah, and the equity built up from before.
Rationalizing it that way for sure. I mean, this is a good spot for them because of
that.
I
think it's pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we have here for number 5?
Number 5, we've got Final Destination.
Wow. Okay.
Look at all those belts.
That's a jump. That's a huge jump for some roaches. Okay. That's a huge jump for some roaches.
I forgot they were roaches.
The king, the ruler.
The ruler roach himself, Charles R3. And his buddy Bryce Saturn have made it to Versus World.
Wow.
Had an immediate impact.
Look at it.
And the team they beat, S4TB, for those very tag titles for a brief spell. Pretty impressive. Early on.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, dominant team. And this goes back to what we were talking about, too. Even though they're not a Las Vegas talent, we have to acknowledge what they've done in Arizona. I mean, R3 is one of the top talents in Arizona. He's the AWF champion right now. What he's done with Evan Daniels in the past. Not obviously that's not
Hold on real quick.
Roaches!
Where's the boric acid?
I can't wait to meet that guy.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
his name? Fresco?
Foul?
That's his name?
Yeah, his name is Foul, bro.
Foul.
He's our guy when it comes to all the dope photography,
that's
videography. Great. He's our correspondent in Negative Zone.
Well, those roach emojis were foul. That's
That's
what.
Foul is foul. But I agree with him. R3 and Bryce are both young guy.
Yeah.
19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
About 1 year in this or something like that.
He's very good for a very good
excellent
in his 1
heel.
year.
Excellent heel.
I would agree.
I agree too.
Does a lot of good things, and I think those two are going to be dangerous in the mainland. They keep this up. Who do we have at number 4?
Number 4, we've got the faction boys.
Yeah, number 4. Okay. Why? Why?
I'll tell you why. Why is from what we saw in FSW with you and Braxton.
Oh yeah.
That was it was always thought in the conversation was like Fresco and Watson are the team out of LCF, even though we'd see Braxton mix in from time to time. But the step that I think Braxton has made in the ring, just from the look, I mean, we already knew he could talk. There was no doubt about that. But I think he does a great job in the ring. You two have gotten so much better. And I really thought you guys looked like tag team champions after the match against the Revolution on Saturday night. And that's what I think is what's put you guys here. And the Arizona stuff, obviously.
Sure, absolutely. The Arizona stuff is cut. The Arizona stuff is great, man. You know what I mean? And Fresco and Braxton definitely looked good in their last match. But the one before it, not so much. Because I'm pretty sure. Wham! Well, top rope. Wham! 1, 2, 3. Listen, this is well deserved, man. Again, if we were gonna put the 4 together, right, they would be a lot higher.
Right, if it was a faction.
The uncertainty and inconsistency of what the tag team actually is, as it's now forming, I feel like has cost the faction their spot higher. I feel like there are teams that are flourishing a little bit more and have the results a little bit more. You got to remember the faction took a break for a little bit.
We did.
And being at number 4 is definitely an accomplishment in itself. They repackaged so to speak, themselves very well into a higher tier in the mainland. They are the highest tier in the negative zone, and very reputable in the green zone as well. Cloud City, they made their debut there. They're repping the flag. Okay.
Yep.
Why'd I even start? They're repping the flag very well.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, on Saturday, they looked pretty good. Shout out to my man, Nick freaking Xander. Greens from Mexico. Big dog. Keep chasing that dream. See, I got to reach from Mexico! I've actually known Moses for a very long time, man. I used to be Mark, man, just like us all, man. And we met online and been to a few wrestling shows together.
Hell yeah.
That is my dog, man, and he's interviewed Dolph Ziggler,
nice.
multiple WWE superstars out in Mexico. So that reach is definitely appreciated.
yeah. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
International reach.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm cool with the list for it because I know what we bring, and me and Watson or Matt or Brax or Ice could always step in and see what's popping. But what do we got here on the top?
Wait, we're not done. We're not done.
Fresco, the old English is pouring low. You know what I mean?
Get some more
And
then.
if I close my eyes, I think Braxton was here because you're talking so much. Brian still had a point.
have something
Madam
to
Rice
say.
maybe had some. Let me talk about my man. Let me put him on a pedestal. You didn't even let her do that.
Okay, guys, go ahead.
So let's start with Brian.
Let's go ahead.
And then we'll end with
All right.
Madam Rice.
Okay, I'm the moderator here, so let's start with Brian. Go with Madam Rice.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then. So if LC, and I know you're not saying LCF doesn't belong number 4.
Sure.
But if they don't, who they're ahead of could be in their spot? I mean, see, that's where I think the depth in the division allows for a little bit more flexibility in who goes where if there was the depth that in some developed teams like we talked about earlier and maybe a little more depth in the back half of the top 10, it might be a little bit different.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the Players Club have held the BBW Tag Team Championships for over 2 years, and I think who better to take the number 4 spot from the faction than
Big jump.
Are you
I was
just joking? I was like, what?
No. I just want to hear what Madam Rice has to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say that every time I see Lights Camera Faction, they're more gel. They gel better together, stronger. That more like professional TV look. Every time I see you guys, I can tell you all love each other. And then I was gonna say that I feel sad because when I did my faction, and I put a lot into that, you guys. It was crickets. You didn't think it was funny at all.
Well, you did it to start the show, Madam Rice.
you're
You got the big
once.
pop already.
Yeah, they always say in wrestling, don't do the same thing twice.
All right, I'll
Do
take
I
Noted.
do I make an entrance, go back into the curtain, and make a re-entrance?
Do I do it twice?
You know what? I just love it so much. When Ice originally did it, it popped. Pop forever in my mind. So, but noted. Don't ever do the same thing twice.
Really quick, Fresco, to answer your question, Brian, I off the top of my head, I can't think of a
Right.
better fit because of the top 3 teams
Right.
that may be ahead of
Yes,
them.
yes.
Which should we get into, Mr. Moderator?
Yes.
Let's
What
do
we got
it.
for number 3 on the list?
TB Dizzle.
Whoa!
Wow.
Wait!
TBD number 3.
Wait!
TBD number 3.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I think this is fair. I'm not gonna front. I think
Wait
this
a
is
minute.
fair.
I think so
They
too.
were number 10 on the
Yeah.
list last time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they had the highest jump in the power rankings. Right, Brian?
Yes, sir. Triple. You got the triple threat win at the Silver Nugget.
Okay, who'd they beat?
They beat
Sky
that
High.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I haven't heard their name yet, but
Oh, I see where you're going. And then they beat Toko Uso to win the tag titles. I mean,
yep.
this
Yeah.
might be too low for TBD. I think these two guys are awesome.
Yeah,
We've
no,
been
they're
talking
great.
about them since they started teaming up. We got heat because I said in a post that I thought Shogun and Hero were better together when Shogun and King were still tag team champions. And I think they are. I thought they were then, and I think they are now. I think that that they're just outstanding. There's nothing that you can't like about these two guys.
I think the funniest thing, and I noticed this the last time they wrestled, was that they each already had gear that matched each other.
Yeah, you gotta have the gear. Gotta have gear that matches each
Like
other.
separately. Like
Yeah.
Shogun had the red and
Right.
the black, and then Hero had the red and the black. Separately.
Yeah. They both like
I thought
the color
that was
red,
so cool.
So it worked out for them. TBD, they won the East Bay tag team titles. I thought that was really, really good. And then back to backing it with FSW tag titles, beating Toka Uso, pretty damn impressive. Biggest jump on the power rankings list so far. Shout out to them. Watch your clock.
Okay.
Who's number 2?
No. We're not there yet.
What? What do you mean we're not there
He's
yet?
trying to.
I'm trying to run through. We gotta get to the top 10 singles list.
Yeah, that could
we
wait,
gotta
man.
get the singles.
You know what I mean?
Gotta get the singles.
It's all right.
So listen, TBD. We're the only team, I believe, in the top 10 who could actually have beaten Toka Uso. Sky High. I assume they're going to be there. I assume Death Proof is going to be there. Which order, I don't know.
Okay.
Now, Death Proof have been in and out of singles tag since they've lost these championships. So I can understand maybe where I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just see TBD at least as a top 2 team because they have the mainland straps, because of what they have done, because of the look, presentation have all come together. They have repackaged themselves. They got merch. I mean, these are all factors that I think.
True.
For me, if you're talking about the top tag team in Vegas right now, as we speak, who is it? Right now.
Well,
Who has the belts right now?
okay, they have it, but I do think there is something they still need to get together, and both these teams, I think, ahead of them will have that. Who's number 2?
Number 2, we've got Death Proof.
Death Proof. So they were number 1 last time, and they did drop. I think the reason they made number 2 in this countback is because as tag team chemistry goes, and being long and consistent in the game and the art of tag team wrestling, I think they're still just a slither better right now as far as overall. I know they lost both straps, but I'm not going to put down the fact that they were double champions, double tag team champions, and they set the tone for this year and won the tag team.
If they step in the ring with another team, most in Las Vegas, I would say 95% of the time they're the favorites to win. And that says a lot about Death Proof. And that goes back to the conversation you and I had before the show started. Just because you've lost a couple times, just because you're not necessarily the best right now, or doesn't mean you're not necessarily number 1 ranked right now, doesn't mean you're not necessarily the best right now. So I think that can go back to TBD as well.
Sure.
To a degree.
Okay, listen, Death Proof, good buddies of mine. Cody, he's had a big hand in training me, obviously, throughout my young career here. Jacob Austin Young, very good as well. They just have done a lot separately since
Agreed.
their tag title loss. And where the future takes them, who knows? Do I expect them to be in the top 3 or the top whatever next time? I don't know. I don't know. I just personally, in my personal opinion, see Death Proof on a more backwards trajectory than a forwards trajectory. Wow. And if we're talking about potential, like the Pack at number 10 and Cal and Bodie at number 9, we should also talk about a backwards trajectory, perhaps, in a future secret council meeting, which I'm not a part of. It's okay. It's fine.
Me either. It's okay.
Oh, that's to be determined. No, I'm just kidding.
Well played.
So my whole point being is that it's so hard to put these lists together, and as it gets closer to the top, I can only imagine how hard it is for people like Brian to put this all together, and the rationalizations all contradict each other. But we shall see.
Okay.
All right.
So let's get down to it. Who is number 1?
The Milky Way is in its
Sky high, baby.
There's not a hand down in that crowd.
Sky High.
Everybody has their
Sky
hands
High
up.
cracks #1 for the first time in the power rankings.
Congratulations,
Yes,
Mondo
well
and
deserved
Robbie.
for them.
You
Yeah.
gotta give something.
Flower soundboard, yes.
You gotta
Flower
give them
soundboard.
consistency the key because
Yeah,
they
no
are
doubt.
the most consistent tag team
Definitely.
year in, year out. They're always gonna bring it to you every single show. They travel all the time, and they have been consistent. I think tag team wrestling needs to be consistent.
Yes.
And I think looking at this list, what Sky High has over everyone else is they are brothers.
They are brothers.
Yes.
And the chemistry over brother tag team, as you can see, is unmatched.
And they have Barks. I mean, who
Barks
has,
is the coolest.
Oh my gosh, that
they also
dog.
have Barks. I mean,
Yeah, obviously.
ugh.
And they're just really nice guys.
Well, so do we factor Barks into this? Them being in
We
the
do.
number
and,
one.
and Mondo Rocks actually told me to tell you every post that he is in, you need to hashtag Barks.
I will. I will do that.
Barks.
I will do that.
Now, for real though, let's talk about this. Of the teams on the list, the only team to win an out-of-state title in Las Vegas, because when Best of the West came to town, they were not champions. The Enterprise were champions, and they dethroned them
Two-time
Right.
in their
champions.
hometown to become two-time Best of the West Tag Team
Agreed.
champions.
Yep.
So I can agree here that Sky High, with the consistency as the City Kingpin Fresco-Matic, who pinned Kenny King 1-2-3 on Friday at BVW 8th year anniversary, and Brian and the Secret Council made the right decision here. Why are we showing? We're gonna see him later. We're gonna see him
Shouldn't that
later.
You're
But
so
honestly,
funny.
Sky
Yeah, it was good
Sky
to know.
High have well deserved this. Despite their loss at the Mecca, they were on the Mecca.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
And that
man.
matters.
For sure, for
Like,
sure.
let's- As you know, I mean, that matters.
It's
in
crazy.
Jeans and Jordans.
I
it matters.
Absolutely. You know, and I just think also with Sky High missing the BBW main event on Friday
Yeah, yeah.
for the tag titles, I felt like they had the best chance to beat the Players Club.
Yeah, me too.
And I felt like that was, something that they definitely got to run back when they're back and ready to go. So, number one, give it up for Sky High, number
High,
one tag team,
congratulations.
Las Vegas Power Rankings, guys. We talked a lot about tag teams.
We got to get into the singles.
A lot about
Barks.
tag teams. We got to get into the singles list.
Hashtag Barks.
Let's get right into the bubble. Who
Let's do
made
it.
the bubble for the singles list, guys? There's been a lot of tearing up
Whoa,
talent around
this one.
here in the last several months. This was not easy. Bubble list, Tresario
Wow, I know him
makes
very well.
the bubble. Of course, Dark World representative,
Yeah.
Look, I like this guy.
the Snapper,
The red snapper.
the Red Snapper.
World Warrior champion.
Yes,
Great heel.
exactly. Of course, still APW champion as well. Getting it going from there. Next up, we have Damian Drake.
Heartbeat!
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What's going on?
Oh my goodness. Damian Drake, of course.
Looking thick.
Damian Drake, of course, makes the bubble list here. He has
what?
been doing his thing across LA fights.
For sure.
Going across from
GCW.
there. Getting his wins popping. And it's just been a different
I thought
thing.
he would be in the top 10. I'm surprised he didn't make it.
It was very close.
I really
right?
did. Yeah,
There's only
it
room
was.
for one heartbeat
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
top 10.
Absolutely.
Okay, and also right here we got Bryn Thorne.
I love what Bryn Thorne
Wow.
has done.
Okay.
Sorry, Nick.
Okay.
But Bryn has been, she has done a great job, especially over the last couple of years, because I remember seeing her the first time, originally in Arizona. She came across kind of quiet, was trying to figure everything out. Even when we saw her in FSW initially, a lot of matches with Sandra and Maz, and kind of working on stuff. But man, you watch her now; she's got that attitude, but it's not over the top. She can fight in the ring, and she has had some really good matches with you,
I thought
Gregory Sharp.
Oh, yes.
She's his
She's
existence.
Yeah.
Well, some people, was in the Las Vegas Wrestling Scene article that was the best match of her career here in Las Vegas. So, I mean, we could talk about it, but here's the thing. I thought Bryn Thorne might have been in the top 10
She had a chance.
because
She had a
of
good
because
chance.
of
She had a
her
really good
resume.
chance.
I mean, honestly, that's a really good sight to see that she's on the bubble. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I was too.
Look at you. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to get into this
Let's do
top
it.
10 list. Here
We
it
thought-
is, folks. Moment y'all all been waiting for. Madam Rice, who's number 10?
Cal Jack.
Ha ha!
I like this
Cal
guy.
Jack.
Cal Jack.
Cal Jack cracks the singles top 10 list. Of course, we know this man's background. He's an amateur champion, Pac-12 champion.
Two-time Pac-12 champion.
Former NXT superstar.
Right.
Yep.
Making his way all across the independent scene again. Great with the Friendos and Steven Larson. Everyone loves Cal Jack.
Everyone loves Cal Jack. That guy gets a huge pop anytime he comes to the ring. His whole
Hey, yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
I
man.
mean, you can't help but cheer him. He has 1,000 kids that come to the shows. That it's you just there's nothing you can't love about this guy right now.
You know, my favorite thing about Cal Jack, right, is when Bleep a Bleep is in the ring, the strut man, and he gets main op. Man, just the spectacle of what he is, the gut wrench suplex 6'6", his resume. He's touching every base now. You know, he's not just a Dark World guy. He's one versus pro tag team. So to be on the is he the first guy on the tag team and singles list?
Yes, he is.
Not the first
No,
ever, but
no.
he's-
Who
I'm
else
on-
was,
I'm on
was
that
it? Was
too.
it
Well,
Matt?
we got a ways
was
to
it
go
Vandegrift?
still. We got Matt was on.
Oh,
both last
well,
week.
in
Yeah.
this
And
jerk-
so was
this
and
jerk
so was
over here.
Fresco,
Oh, I
yeah.
misunderstood.
And so was
He's the
Fresco.
first to be mentioned.
And if you talk about Sandra, obviously with
Oh,
us for
well,
TV,
sure,
but
sure,
it was
sure,
more
sure.
Sandras or singles.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it all just went over my head. I really try to give Cal Jack a lot of praise there. But, like I say, he's such a spectacle and such a great addition to every roster he's on, man.
And you know, and it was funny too because you were talking about Duke and Duke's athleticism. I only talked about him bringing kids to the shows. I mean, Cal Jack is a terrific wrestler.
You kidding me? Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
you're talking about the gut wrench suplexes. Like, did you see what he did? There was one sequence during that match at
Against Frank the
BBWA
Tank.
where he had like 6 different kicks in the one.
my
I mean,
God.
it
And
was
the kip up?
and
All the
kip
different
boom, and the
kicks.
kip up. And, I mean, dude, the guy's a great. I think he's he's at 10, but this is the last time he's this low.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Who makes number 9, Madam Rice?
Number 9, Ice Williams.
Ice Williams.
The same place as last time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say
so,
that?
okay.
That's yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen,
the same place.
Ice Williams is the most polarizing figure in Las Vegas wrestling,
No doubt.
period.
Yes.
Yes.
Ice Williams is a top 2 or 3 worker in Las Vegas, period.
No doubt.
He is the best.
Yes.
I can't, I don't even want to say character because that's who he is. He, I feel like last time he got slighted. He was definitely a top 3 for me.
Okay.
He's put on the best matches up to that point in the previous one that I thought he was top 3. But considering his lack of resume since losing to Chris Bay in the No Limits title, and because he doesn't touch base in a Versus World or a Grap House and such, he has really been on the back burner, and the chances he had to have matches, he had to have pulled out because of dentistry, because of different things. So because, again, lack of resume, I don't see a problem with this.
That was how we felt. I mean, he was in the trios match, and he looked sensational. Sensational. Him and I had a nice conversation about that match outside afterwards.
conversation.
Real friendly conversation. I just
Valley shit.
quietly explained to him what the situation, what, and I said, he looked great, but that's been the only match.
I mean,
that's-
you can't
Ice
argue.
you're right. Ice is a top 3 talent without a doubt.
Yeah.
But,
Are we,
got you.
are
you got to
we-
see
are-
more activity.
Unfortunately,
Are we
Fortunate
looking at
circumstances.
the next mainland heavyweight champion
Could
leading
be.
into the next rankings?
Very well could be.
I feel like when that comes out next time, he's gonna be heavyweight champion, and
And
there's
that's
gonna
a
be no
huge
doubt where that goes, and we'll have
I agree.
and we'll have 2 heavyweight champions within Lights Camera Faction at the same time.
It's only a matter of time before they meet.
It's only a matter of time.
Before
Only
they
a matter
meet.
of time.
Before they meet.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
I ain't touching that.
It's a matter. It's a matter of time for my man. I think him not leaving the spot, I think shows the respect they still got.
Stir the pot.
From
Stir,
going. You can't
stir
stir
the
the pot.
pot.
You can't stir the pot.
Stir the pot. They're
Who do
too
we
strong
have
right
for
now.
Number 8.
Faction's too strong
Remy
right now.
Marcel.
Remy Marcel, number 8. He was what, number 7
Number
last
7
time
last
on the
time,
thing, so
yep.
he did drop a list, but still stays in the top 10. Nevada State champion.
Okay, so why the drop, Brian?
Well, the drop part of it is because we've only had 2 rankings. So with the point system that we're using to kind of come up with the original plan, with certain people coming into the top 10 that weren't in last time, it kind of gets off kilter. So as we keep doing these and the rankings become more developed, you won't see the crazy moves like you do, I hope, towards the end of this year and into 2023.
I see. You know, Remy Marcel, man, he's had a big hand in what this looks like here, sitting down next to Fresco. Again, he's a guy who is in one place, right? And for me, when you think about Las Vegas rankings, you got to consider the whole city. And
agree.
Remy Marcel, he has dipped his pool into Pride Style.
Right.
Dipped his toes into Pride Style. However, unsuccessfully.
True.
So, are you successful in one place, or are you successful everywhere? And I feel like that's maybe where Remy Marcel has halted at the 8-7 spot, around that range, as opposed to the people who may be ahead of him. He's a great competitor, all-time Vegas original. I don't know. I don't know what he has to do to move forward, because he has done so much here in Vegas.
Done everything.
What does that look like? I don't know.
You know, and it's an interesting point too, because Remy very well may end up, and I'm not going to speak for the whole council and the entire Las Vegas wrestling scene, but he may end up in that same place as like a Funny Bone and a Graves, where you've done it. Everything here, like where are you really gonna go at this
You
point?
are your own
sort of
list.
And beating Remy is a big deal. Beating Funny Bone is a big deal.
Yes, yes.
It's a title in its own in some ways.
You know, Funny Bone, he's been dodging me online. He hasn't responded to any of my posts.
Oh my god!
But he has no problem.
Not you calling out Funny Bone.
He has no problem commenting on Kid Bandit post, this post. You know, people who are more than happy to benefit him. But when it comes to Nick Xander, who's owed a Funny Bone match, I believe, he's awfully silent.
Davion's got one.
And Davion's got one. He had no problem beating up Davion, no problem beating up Bodie. But what about Nick Xander? You know, Funny Bone, you've been dead for a long time, but I got something I think that you haven't felt for a long time, and that's the heartbeat. So guess what, Funny Bone? I am officially calling you out, whether it's mainland, whether it's whatever land, cinematic universe land, we can run that, man. So listen, you respond back to me when you have time, when the subscription stopped running out on OnlyFans.
Oh my
you
goodness.
come to me, Funny Bone, because
my
I'm ready for
goodness.
that smoke.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, even Brett wrestled Funny Bone.
Oh my!
Multiple times.
Yeah.
In the valley
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
all
yeah.
sorts of stuff.
You know, might have to go in the valley for this one. Might have to.
Oh,
see
man,
what's
I'm gonna
poppin' with that. And be careful what you wish for, Heartbeat. Yeah, but you know, speaking of which, what do we have number 7?
Fresco talking over my pop.
We've got the Heartbeat.
Okay.
Xander.
Okay, so look what we got here. Number 7, making his debut on the Power Rankings list. We got the Heartbeat himself, Nick Xander.
The Battleborn champion. Las Vegas Rookie
That's
of the Year.
right. Article Man, what went into this?
This one was pretty obvious. Nobody had a more explosive 3 months than Nick Xander did. And, you know, when you were talking about TBD and what they did in the last 3 months also, if we were doing a 90 days top 10, Xander would probably be number 1.
Woo!
Wow. That's awesome.
I mean, even Papa said it, I think it was on Twitter, said that you should be number 1. And
That's really
and if
cool.
you were looking at it in that window, I think that would be fair. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind you were going to end up in the top 10. It wouldn't have made any sense
No,
to
it
me
wouldn't have made no sense.
if the council would have come back with something else.
I have a question. Who braids your hair, Nick?
Who braids my
Is that the question of the night?
Oh, that's a great question.
Giselle Beauty. Giselle Beauty. You can look her up on Instagram as the music tones down a little bit. Her name is Margarita. She graduated from the Academy of Hair Arts Salon and some shit. She's definitely very talented. I go to her house specifically because, the salon could get, a little weird about this and that. She hooks me up. She does a great job. It lasts about 3 weeks. I could have multiple matches, multiple different things going on in my life, and they stay nice.
Looks great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think it adds a little depth to what that looks like. Fresco, you want to adore me a little bit on number 7?
Okay. I'll give you a little flowers. I've seen you come up from the very beginning and where you started, and you gotta, you weren't sure where you were going to go. Then we fast forward to year 2, and you've done more than most guys in their first year around here. So to be able to come up into the sophomore start and defeat Papa Yase in the shade,
who was
for
number
the
3,
Battleborn
who was
Championship.
number 4, 5, or 6 or something. I beat a Tresario who was on the list as well.
Yeah, and the list keeps getting bigger for Nick Xander, it feels like. So it was an absolute must to have the Battleborn champ.
Not on the top 10, but Keita.
Keita Murray?
Man.
Definitely. Can we talk
guy.
about this stat for a second? The only person in the Las Vegas top 10 to have wins this year at Grap House, Pride Style Pro, Kets Pro, the Mainland, FSW, versus... what else? I've
Big
won
Valley.
in every Big Valley just recently. I've won in
Excellent stat. Thank you.
every single promotion here in Vegas. And people want to talk about, he might smack you on the ass if you go out. I've done the outlaw route, as my friend Fresco-Matic here has done, and I've transcended through these local politics, if you will, and I'm just very blessed, and I just want to be thankful of all the opportunities given. I'm very grateful despite my spunky attitude and different things like that. I couldn't be any more grateful to have people along my side, coaches, peers like Fresco, the Sky Highs, and different things like that, who have really given me an opportunity to make this jump and really grow into what the heartbeat is. So thank you, everybody who has given me the opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to say, it seems like, Nick, in the best way, you came out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, he came out of nowhere. He hit the ground, and he started running, sprinting.
You knew what he wanted immediately.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
first
that's
time in the ring.
so
Yeah.
refreshing to see. You got the
Thank you.
opportunity, and you took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know we have to get to number 6, but I just need to thank specifically 2 people who have set me on this journey and kind of fast forward me and really took me under their wing, and that's Sky High. Mondo Rocks and Robbie Litt put me in a car and said, hey, man, do you mind coming with us? And ever since then, I felt like my career has really grown from the Lucha Libre shows in California in the hard-ass ring in the 100-degree heat to the Best of the West, reaching out to the Mike Reigns and getting transitions through NorCal. I mean, those guys. Without those guys, I would not be where I am right now, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you to the number 1 ranked tag team in Las Vegas, Sky High.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Number 7, Nick Xander. I'm curious now. Who's number 6?
Number 6 is G Sharp.
Wow.
G Sharp.
G Sharp. Number 6 on the list.
That's a scary man.
Probably the scariest man in Vegas scene right now.
Yeah.
Gregory Sharp, number 6. What went into this?
This is, as we keep moving up, this is where it got really, really tight. I mean, it's
Look at his face.
the difference between the numbers as we go up is very, very thin. And Gregory Sharp is superb. I mean, he's the top heel at Grap House. Top heel really anywhere. I mean, the guy just, I still can't believe that who this is compared to the guy that came out of the ring one day and shook my hand and asked me if I was enjoying the show. I mean, like, so this is a guy who, and just in the ring, he's absolute killer. He never changes. You know what you're getting with him every single time. Total intensity. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
I feel like Gregory Sharp is putting out a lot of classics in this new repackaged character, which Hyperstreak, not to say he couldn't, but he just didn't have that extra, that edge that we really need from a type of character, from a type of person that Sharp really is. And I feel like he could be higher. Obviously.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, within everybody, I mean, he probably would have the popular vote of his peers to be a top 3 without a doubt. But he just always seems to be on the cusp of something bigger and just doesn't get there.
Yeah.
Nevada State
title.
I feel like
I was
that's
shocked
still
he-
not finished yet. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
you know, I was banking on him trying to get that soon. It hasn't quite happened
Yeah.
yet. I think ultimately that situation is probably what kept him.
Yes.
where he's at, yeah?
Yes. And he won the level up title in a battle royal.
Yeah,
Not
you
to
know,
take anything away from him,
right.
but it's different.
Which he was out of up until the end. Because
Right.
he was brawling and all that.
Yeah,
Right,
so you
right.
know, so it's just different strokes. You know, I do want to congratulate Gregory Sharp
Mm-hmm.
for winning his first championship. That was done
Yeah,
during this
congratulations.
period.
Definitely.
You know, you know, the story is yet to be finished. I
yeah.
think for Greg Sharp, so I think this is appropriate. Who cracks the top 5?
I say this sarcastically. Your favorite person, Da Shade.
Whoa, the shade. Play the Backstreet.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
That was awesome.
so Article Man, what went into the shit? He's won every title almost imaginable in
Yeah.
town. What led him to being number 5 this time?
Well, I think, the Versus title, of course, helped. He's been extremely consistent. He doesn't, even when he was doing FSW now, he's at Versus, at Pride Style, at Big Valley, works all over town, consistently wins. I think the thing that keeps Shade from going higher is he missed out on a couple of big matches, not for his reason, just because they didn't come together. I would like to see him get a marquee win. I think he still needs a couple of big wins if they're there for him.
Here's the complicated thing, like in a for real setting here with Shade with me. It feels like there's almost a disconnect for me in a way. As much as I love him, this is just my honest opinion. He always seems to be chasing something, but he always has that acclaimed, you know what I mean? Like he's chasing, but he has the title.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
He's on top. He's always on top. So when he won that title, it was like, well, that always was supposed to be.
He
it.
wasn't
didn't really-
already the champion.
It didn't
Yeah.
really change my perception on where he was at
No.
already, because he was already to me the top guy.
And that's
Right.
no
Versus World.
no disrespect, because it takes a lot to be on top for that long, that consistently, and that has to be something to be honored.
Oh,
it
for
just
sure.
it just feels like he's always chasing something that feels like he is bigger than or already has obtained.
Without a doubt, I think too. But in referring to the rankings, in the sense of if he's going to move into that top 3, you got to have the resume too. You got to have those. I think
You
those
need to beat a
W's
Kenny
matter.
King.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's beating guys like a Juicy Finale. He's taking on people
yeah,
like
that's true.
a Dark
True,
Sheik.
true.
Those are
Those are solid wins.
Those are solid wins, but I am looking for more, because I think Shade's played the role of champion for a long time. I kind of want to see
a spark.
what extra
Maybe a
level.
spark.
He's already
Yeah.
reached 2 belts,
Yeah.
3 belts,
Like what he
4
does
belts.
with it, kinda?
I don't want it to be almost bastardized. I want to kind of see what
something
he
different.
does more with it. And defending the title is one thing. You don't want to. You don't want to spam title defenses.
Right.
You want to have them.
And that's what I
each
mean by the
mean
marquee
something,
wins.
Yeah.
Something
So
to build up
for
to
sure.
for a month or a month and a half, if that's what you need to do.
And speaking of that, I mean, he did lose his opportunity at the Las Vegas Championship on Friday too. So I mean, these are
That could have
all-
changed a whole lot if he won the Vegas
Definitely,
title.
definitely.
Because then you're just undeniable at that point.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean?
There's
Which
nothing to
he technically he is, but I mean that just adds the extra layer that we're maybe talking about.
Yeah, for sure. He's not doing too well right now from his buddy Beast, so he probably not gonna. I don't know like this or not. What's next on the list, Madam Rice? Who is number 4?
Next, number 4, my best friend, the person that I think works the hardest out of everybody who I've seen from the very beginning of this process when he decided he wanted to become a wrestler. The love of my life, Fresco Magic.
Play the music every season, my season, every play it, DJ. Season, every season, my
Well, that was officially the best introduction for anybody in the two shows. Without a doubt.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, man. So okay,
Love you, boy.
Love you too. You know, it's crazy. So number 4, where was I? Was number? Dang. Okay, I was number 8 last time.
Well, the King match I think was really because we really went with it. We were putting these together all the way up until the very end, and. Where last time we were done a few days early, but I think there weren't any shows leading up to that.
When is it going to cut to this? I've been doing this for a long ass time. All right.
Tons of
Hey, Fresco! Cut the check. All right.
Ooh,
I just think that match really shot you up, I believe, at least one spot because it was something different. It was like, okay, when I said to you, you looked the same size as Kenny, I think that was a lot of what it was. It was like, this guy looks like he belongs at the top of the company. And there's a big difference between somebody who has the belt and who looks like they should have the belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Not maybe made a poor choice of putting it, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I just feel
Look
like
the part, so to speak.
Fresco definitely looks the part, and he has made a jump in transition on what that looks like. For me, ultimately, love everybody on the list, including myself. However, there is something to say about Fresco's want to and creativity with what he does with his own brand. Let's talk about the fighting championship and the legacy he's created and everything with that. He has his own feature film. He's the king of the he's the city kingpin. He brought Kenny King not to the mainland, not on some special paycheck he paid. He got Kenny King to come to Big Valley to wrestle him.
Yeah.
Kenny King took his time, paid for whatever flight, paid for whatever to come to the Sahara Event Center. Fresco brought the Sahara Event Center back, packed the house, sold that bitch out for the Battle of the Throne. Fresco Matic is not only the city kingpin, he is one of the biggest trailblazers in Las Vegas today, 1/4 of the greatest faction in Las Vegas today, not only a double champion, not only one of the 4 pillars of the negative zone, not only
Too hot.
1/2 of one of the greatest households of all time on the Northtown East Side of Las Vegas. Fresco Matic is only going to go up from here. And if we're talking about potential, he is on the rise. And he creates his own brand. And look at it, he got his own show. I'm on it. I'm so thankful. I couldn't be more proud of the person who has grown so much and the person who he is for not only his career, for himself, and his family. Fresco, I am so proud of you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have done things that people can only dream of, and enjoy this moment because, truthfully to me, I think you belong higher on this list.
Wow.
There it is.
I don't know what else to say, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it. Man. We just trying to build new avenues, man. Trying to, get our scene seen, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
For sure.
He cried.
For sure, man. I appreciate it, man.
He cried.
That was cool.
Who?
Let's move. Okay, here
Let's
we go.
get down
Here we go. Here we
We're
go.
down to the
Nitty
final
gritty.
3, y'all.
Top 3.
We're down to the final 3.
I think this is no question, but just what order?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to it. Number 3, Sandra Moon.
I told you long ago, Wanderer, I got what you're looking for.
Yes.
So Sandra Moon, was the topic of a lot of discussions for the last several weeks.
Oh, man.
But ultimately, is still riding high and still doing her thing.
She really is, and she's still having great matches. She's had great matches during the entire voting window. Great one against Papa Friday night. I think
one against Papa.
Huh?
Yeah. Great battle.
What did I say?
She didn't win.
Did I say win? I meant fought.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know she did win.
She wins on all of our hearts, but
it was
not
excellent
to,
match.
Yes.
It was an excellent match. Sandra was bleeding as usual. She keeps fighting because when you deliver shots like she does, you have to be prepared to accept the receipt, and it doesn't matter with her who she faces.
Sure.
She's bringing it. She's fun to watch. I was a little disappointed to see her drop.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And I think it's more. I think it's probably more based on the two that were ahead.
Yeah.
Just where
You
they
can't
were
argue
at,
it. You can't argue it.
And it's just so tough when it gets down to it. I mean, she's still killing it all
Yeah.
over, going to all the major spots and representing tough for the Vegas scene. Always killing it.
So here's the thing with Sandra Moon. Okay. Sandra Moon has the biggest reach, I would say, of anybody on this list.
Yes.
She has the biggest draw and star power of anybody on this list. She has signed All Elite Wrestling superstar Nick Wayne at Grap House.
Yep.
She has gotten numerous wins here in the Valley. Excuse me, sorry. I'm so used to the Valley because we're at the Fresco show in the Las Vegas wrestling scene, and to have the wherewithal to give up a championship because you aren't going to accept anything less than what you deserve has to be a very commendable thing as well. It's not like, she for me, she was bigger than the championship when she won it. She had already outgrown it, and for her to continue to outgrow herself in every aspect, whether it's work rate, whether it's the reach, whether it's the quality of match, you just can't be more proud of her. However, there are two people who have done just as well.
Well said, Nick.
Yes.
All right. With
welcome,
that,
welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah. With that, I will take us into number 2, which is Papa Yase.
Papa Yase, the Thanos of Versus World.
Man.
So
I hate this guy.
This is very fuck Papa Yase. That's what he be saying.
Bleep. It was a bleep.
Papa Yase, ever since losing the Battleborn Championship,
1, 2, 3.
he's seemed to be hell-bent on continuing his path he was on before.
He hasn't stopped at all.
Nah, it's crazy. And he, of course, defeated Sandra Moon, which puts her over her on this list, one-on-one for the fighting championship. It feels like this guy just can't be stopped right now in Versus World at the moment. I think that loss from Nick really just kind of woke him up a little bit, and he's more vicious than I've seen him before.
Without a question. And the funny thing about that too is when he dropped the belt, the immediate talk amongst the council was, "Oh, this is going to hurt him. This might be maybe this is going to knock him down a few spots because maybe now the run's going to cool off a little bit. Maybe Nick Xander cooled it off." It went the other way. He didn't cool off at all. He's just continued to menace, continued to destroy, continued to win, and he's been the most talked about heel in Las Vegas this year, and obviously leading into this year, but definitely this year. So there's just nothing you can't like as far as when you're evaluating a talent for the rankings. He's been fantastic.
Now, sorry, Fresco. Now, all bias aside, okay, Papa Yase, again, has repackaged himself. Now you could credit Fresco-Matic to that because after the fighting championship challenge, he has turned a new leaf. And in that new leaf, we thought we had seen somebody who was very impressive. 15 straight title defenses of the Versus World Battleborn Championship. Now, one loss in a triple threat match can be per circumstance, and he has proven since then, having match of the year candidates versus Cutthroat Cody at Pride Style, which I believe, other than Fresco versus Kenny King, ranks among the best matches of the year, period.
Yes.
Also, his match with Sandra Moon was very notable as well.
Very physical.
So not only is he getting the results, but the match quality that he is providing us so late, you would say, in his career, as far as Las Vegas goes, you can't help you can't ignore that. You have to respect that, and you have to put him on a pedestal and give him his proper flowers, because he is one of the best talents by far and by none Las Vegas has to offer.
Yeah, give him his flowers, even if he'll shove them down your throat or beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
With them, you know. But he's been. The thing about Papa is when their shows are finished, you're always talking about his match. You're either talking about something he did or something about his match.
Very much like an Undertaker feel. Like, it's the Papa Yase match.
Yeah, like it really did. And it's really, I think it's a testament to him that he didn't go backwards after dropping the belt, because we've all seen it happen so many times.
For sure. Very well deserved. He's been doing his thing for a while. I know he might cross my path in the future, and of course I'll be ready for Papa. But in the meantime, guys, we've reached our conclusion, folks. We got one more entrant left in this power rankings list.
Yeah.
The number one superstar in the Las Vegas wrestling scene is
Jay Vidal.
Yes.
Hey.
Jay Vidal, new number one. New number one.
Yeah.
Jay Vidal. I honestly, looking at this whole list, this made a lot of sense.
He got the overwhelming number of number one votes. It was very close as far as the points go, but the fact that he had all the number one votes, that's what really ended up put him and Papa, which is what put them past Sandra. And what can you say about Jay? You know, I mean, Jay has been sensational. He's magic. He comes to the ring and everybody wants to watch. He's must-see TV. You want to see his ring entrance. You want to see his promo. You want to see his match. You want to see what he does after the match. The fans are invested in him from the moment he comes to the ring.
Absolutely, yeah. He's another person I feel like just hit the ground running, sprinting, ready to prove his point, and he's done so much in such a short amount of time.
That's right. Double champion, PCW Ultra Lightweight champion. Of course, the FSW No Limits champion. That belt holds a lot of value around here, and be able to defend it constantly. Defeating Laz this past weekend and holding strong all over the country wrestling, folks. Number one, well-deserved to Jay Vidal.
Yes.
Number one, guys. Folks, that's it.
That's all.
Wow.
We got
We
through
did it.
our
We did.
first 2-hour episode
Went fast.
of the Fresco
Went really
Show.
fast.
Yeah.
One shot, one take.
Wow.
Didn't do so bad, folks.
No.
That was fun. That was a lot of
Do you
fun.
think it was because Madam Rice was at the desk?
Madam Rice at the desk. I think the Madam Rice effect.
No
Madam
question.
Rice effect.
The Madam Rice effect.
Hashtag it. I want to see hashtags all over the internet. Madam Rice effect. I want to see it. Sean, I know you're on there. Noah, I know everybody's
Thank
watching.
you. Yeah,
come on,
Do
you
not
guys.
leave without
Yes.
putting hashtag Madam Rice effect.
Folks,
I love it.
that is all the time we have here tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you to the Heartbeat Battleborn champion Nick Zander for stopping by. Ha 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 ha. And thank you once again to the Article Man for coming by and
Thank
getting
you,
this
Brian.
power rankings
Yeah.
going. We love doing these here.
This is great.
For Madam Rice, I am the street sweeper, the fly, the city kingpin, Fresco-matic. And thanks again for checking out the Fresco Show.
Yes.
Ha ha. Cut the check.
Hey, we got one.